Welcome to today's episode. We're diving into the world of social media influencers and what goes into creating those catchy video scripts you see online.
Absolutely, it's fascinating how much planning is behind every spontaneous video. Have you ever tried writing a script for social media content?
I actually have, and it's trickier than it looks. Balancing authenticity with a clear message can be a real puzzle.
For sure. I think the biggest challenge is making it sound natural. People can spot a forced script from a mile away.
Exactly. Some influencers start with a detailed outline, then improvise to keep things fresh. What do you think is more effective, strict scripting or loose guidelines?
I lean toward loose guidelines. It gives space for personality to shine. But I guess it depends on the platform and audience, right?
Definitely. For TikTok, it's all about quick, snappy content, so scripts need to be tight. YouTube allows for more storytelling. Have you noticed how different platforms require different tones?
Totally. Instagram Reels, for instance, favors high-energy intros. Meanwhile, YouTube viewers might prefer a story arc. It's almost like switching between being a sprinter and a marathon runner.
That's a great analogy. Have you seen any influencer videos where the script just didn't work for you?
Oh, yes. Sometimes you can tell when someone's just reading a brand's bullet points. It feels robotic, and the audience tunes out.
Authenticity seems to be the magic word, but with brand deals, do you think it's possible to stay completely authentic?
That's a tough one. I think transparency helps, like mentioning it's a paid partnership. But weaving the brand naturally into the script is an art.
Speaking of which, have you noticed how some influencers use storytelling to introduce products rather than just listing features?
Absolutely. I saw one where they told a personal story about struggling with skincare, then introduced the product as part of their solution. It felt genuine.
Stories definitely stick. There's actually a lot of psychology behind it. People remember stories way better than facts.
It makes sense. Our brains are wired for narrative. That's why even a simple day-in-the-life video can be more engaging than just showing products.
Right. Let's talk about hooks. The first 5 seconds are crucial. What's the best hook you've seen in an influencer video?
I love when someone opens with a surprising question or bold statement. Like, I tried the craziest diet for a week and here's what happened.
That's a classic. It makes you want to stick around for the answer. I've noticed humor works well too, sometimes a quick joke or meme reference.
Humor is a double-edged sword, though. If it misses, it can feel awkward. But when it lands, it's golden.
True. Another thing is pacing. If a script drags, people just swipe away. How do you think influencers keep their scripts tight?
Editing is key. Cutting out filler words, getting straight to the point. Some even practice lines before recording to nail the timing.
Practice makes perfect. But I've also seen blooper reels become part of the content. It makes the influencer seem more relatable.
That's a great tactic. Audiences love seeing the real person behind the screen, mistakes and all.
It's like pulling back the curtain. And speaking of relatability, do you think it's important for influencers to share personal struggles?
I think so. It builds trust. When someone admits to having a bad day or being nervous on camera, it connects with viewers.
Vulnerability is powerful. But I guess it's a balance. You don't want every video to be a therapy session.
Exactly. A sprinkle of honesty goes a long way. Too much, and it can feel overwhelming or off-brand.
Let's shift to collaboration. When influencers partner up, how do you think they script those videos?
Good question. I imagine they plan rough talking points and play off each other's strengths. Chemistry is key.
Chemistry makes or breaks it. Some duos just click, and the banter feels effortless. Others, not so much.
Reminds me of group projects in school. Sometimes it's magic, sometimes chaos.
Ha, true. Do you think the audience notices when a script is too rehearsed in collaborations?
For sure. If it feels like reading lines, people tune out. The best collabs feel like genuine conversations.
Speaking of conversations, have you ever commented on an influencer's video because the script really spoke to you?
I have. When someone shares a relatable story or insight, it feels natural to engage. That's the power of good scripting.
Engagement is the ultimate goal, right? A well-crafted script invites comments, shares, and likes.
Totally. And sometimes, leaving a question at the end of the video boosts interaction. Like, what's your biggest skincare struggle?
Calls to action are huge, but I wonder, how do influencers avoid sounding too salesy when encouraging engagement?
I think it's all about tone. If it feels like a conversation rather than a pitch, people are more likely to respond.
Tone matters so much. I've noticed influencers will sometimes poke fun at themselves, like, I know, another haul, but I can't resist.
That self-awareness is endearing. It shows they don't take themselves too seriously.
Agreed. Let's talk visual cues. How do you think script writing ties into visuals?
Scripts often include stage directions, like show product close-up or cut to before and after. Visuals reinforce the message.
That's true. A well-timed reaction shot can say more than words. Sometimes a simple eye roll or smile adds personality.
Or even a pet cameo. I've seen influencers use their dogs or cats for comic relief.
Pets are social media gold. They break the ice and make everything more shareable.
It's a reminder that sometimes unscripted moments are the most memorable.
Absolutely. Do you think influencers ever worry about running out of ideas for their scripts?
I bet they do. That's why trends and challenges are so popular. They're ready-made prompts for new content.
Trends are a lifesaver. But I wonder, how do influencers keep their own voice while jumping on a trend?
By adding a personal twist. Maybe sharing a unique perspective or a funny fail.
That keeps things fresh. Otherwise, it's just copy-paste content.
Exactly. The best influencers are trendsetters, not just followers.
So true. Do you think there's a formula for the perfect influencer script?
I think there are guidelines. Hook, value, story, call to action. But the magic comes from personality.
Personality is everything. You can have the best script in the world, but if it's delivered flat, it falls short.
Delivery is an art. Some influencers are naturals, others learn with practice.
Practice and feedback. I've seen influencers ask their audience for script ideas or feedback on what they want to see.
That's a smart move. It builds community and keeps content relevant.
Speaking of community, have you noticed influencers referencing inside jokes or past videos in their scripts?
Yes, and it makes loyal followers feel special, like they're in on a secret.
It's like a running gag in a sitcom. It creates connection and a sense of belonging.
That's the power of scripting with your audience in mind.
Absolutely. Before we wrap up, what's one tip you'd give to someone writing their first influencer video script?
Keep it simple and true to yourself. Don't overthink it. Let your personality shine.
Great advice. I'd add, don't be afraid to experiment. The best scripts sometimes come from happy accidents.
Couldn't agree more. And remember, every influencer started with their first awkward script.
That's comforting. As we close, here's a question for our listeners. What's the most memorable influencer video you've seen, and what made it stand out?
We'd love to hear your thoughts. Thanks for tuning in, and remember, behind every viral video is a script with heart.
See you next time, where we'll peel back another layer of the social media world.
Until then, keep scrolling, keep smiling, and maybe try scripting your own story.